All right, well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our third and final day of our programming to introduce you to colleges in San Diego County to know more about what they offer. Today, we have Jonathan from MiraCosta College. He is the program manager for outreach up there. And we're so excited to have you here today, Jonathan. He does have a raffle prize for anybody who stays on through the end to the end of the session. So please stay on for the entire 30 minutes and you might be one of our lucky raffle winners. So without much further ado, I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to you, Jonathan.
Thank you so much, Tanya. And I just want to say I'm really excited to be here too. Always a pleasure to get to meet other folks and the folks that are doing the really work on the ground at our schools. So I'm happy to talk about college and share information. I could talk about college all day. So thank you for having me. And I'll talk a little bit about where we're located, but I'm from MiraCosta College. I'm the program manager for outreach. My pronouns are he, him, and happy to. I'll try to monitor the chat and take questions, but I'll definitely save some time for questions at the end. All right, so I'm going to jump right into our presentation here. Just wanted to mention that one of the, I'm going to be talking about some of the unique aspects about MiraCosta College. In this picture, you can see some of the outreach team, and we typically have 25 to 30 ambassadors, so we're pretty fortunate. The college really invests a lot of funding into a student ambassador program. So if you ever have a group of students that want to come up and tour the campus, we're happy to host that. I have the link there for our tour website. But just to tell you a little bit about a lot of how we do outreach at MiraCosta, we deploy the ambassadors at local high schools, the ones in our surrounding area, and we send them out to college fairs and various activities in the community, community events. So we're fortunate we have ambassadors that visit high schools. They make weekly visits to the high school. So in some cases, we'll have multiple student ambassadors visit a high school so they get more coverage, and it's just to promote our programs and talk about helping them through the application process. So I got a question, where is it located? That's going to be one of my next slides, I think. So yeah, I feel like I needed to put that in the beginning. But we are, our district is actually coastal North County. So we cover all the way from the edge of Camp Pendleton. Camp Pendleton's actually in the Palomar College District, and then it goes all the way down to kind of the Del Mar, Carmel Valley area, some of our schools. Our school districts. So basically it's the Oceanside Unified, Carlsbad Unified, and San Diego Unified School District that is our boundaries, that makes up our boundaries. So we actually have 4 locations in coastal North County area. So we have the Community Learning Center, most north one, and that one has our adult education programs, adult high school, ESL, community services would be like classes that are for fun. We also host programs there for students with disabilities, adults with disabilities. So that's our community learning center. We mostly offer non-credit courses there, so not for they don't count for college credit. And then we also offer at that campus on occasion some of our credit courses, but it's pretty close to our Oceanside campus, our biggest campus. And at the adult education programs is usually it can vary from about 4,000 students. The campus that's off of College Boulevard in the 78 is the one that has about 10,000 students. And so that's where we have the majority of our programs, our athletic programs. And that would be where we have, the majority of our students. In Carlsbad, and I'll talk more about this campus in a moment, we have our Technology Career Institute, and that is not for credit. So the programs are workforce development, job training programs, and most of the courses there are several weeks, so about 16 weeks, and then you're put into the workforce. So I'll go into more detail about those programs, but that one's the one that's probably least known. And then our San Elijo campus is our most southern campus, right off the 5 and Manchester Avenue, kind of tucked away over there. For any students that are more south that are interested in that campus, We're kind of regulated by the Coastal Commission, so the colors and everything blend in, but we're really right off the freeway, so a lot of people don't know our campus is there, and we typically have about 3,000 students there that attend. Oh, that's a much smaller campus for us. This is another image of our San Elijo campus. And just to give you an idea of our student population, the age has actually gone a little bit higher since this last statistic. So the average age is about 29. And just to make the point, I know you all are very familiar with community colleges, but it's not just an extension of high school after college, right? And then for us, the average class size is 24 students. And so most classes that are capped off at 40 students, but as you know, smaller class sizes at community colleges. And then just so you can see our total kind of enrollment breakdown there, we are about 20,000 students, but in these different campuses. And then also wanted to point out, I mentioned that we're, border Camp Pendleton, but we do have a really large military affiliated population. So we're considered, one of the top military friendly schools in the country. And one of the things that gives us, a plus or makes us unique is that we're one of 2 colleges in San Diego County that have a veteran affairs representative on campus. So the VSOC rep, Veteran Success on Campus representative. So we're serving a lot of our military families, military affiliated families. And we're one of the colleges that we are just in the middle of construction. The campus that is in Oceanside was built in 1964, so we still have some buildings that are around from 1964, including some trailers that are 50 plus years old, and we've kept them up well. But now we're able to build some new facilities, so we're excited about that. The top image is our new, which has actually been constructed, is our new student center building at San Elijo campus. And so that one, student services actually, and that one's open and ready. We're actually wrapping up construction. So that campus, because of the pandemic, we've kept it closed. So there's no services there right now, but we will be reopening for spring. They're wrapping up the construction there. On the Oceanside campus, we've built a new athletic facility. And so right now it's the track and the field house on the track, but we're working on a new gym. And so the soccer field is done there. And then we're working on all these kind of, career and training facilities. So one of them is going to be our allied health building at the Oceanside campus. So expanding, nursing is really popular on our campus. So expanding those facilities a little bit and adding to that. And then just modernizing the campus, as I mentioned. It's about, the campus, some of the buildings are pretty old. I know Tanya mentioned to make sure to speak about our Promise program. And so, all throughout California, we have these amazing Promise programs, and we've all set them up, maybe slightly differently with our own little tweaks. So for MiraCosta, what we've done is any first-time student, so whether they graduated college, high school 10 years ago or just recently, if they're first time in college and they're a full-time student, 12 units or more, they qualify for the Promise, and it's regardless of income. So we ask families to submit the FAFSA or the California Dream Act application, and as long as you submit it, you don't have to qualify for anything, then we're going to offer you free tuition. And we like to say it as 4 consecutive semesters. So like if you stopped taking classes for a semester, then you would lose that eligibility. You could appeal it, and depending on funds, we might grant it again. But yeah, it's intended to be 4 consecutive semesters. And then I just wanted to point out, so ours is a very streamlined process. There's no other requirements other than first time, full time. The community colleges, there's also mandates in the state to create classes that have low textbook costs or 0 textbook costs. So using the resources available online. And then MiraCosta's also had a very strong textbook loan program for many years. So through a partnership with our EOPS office, we loan books to any student. They usually can qualify for at least 1 book. They can request more if there's books available. And then we've worked really hard with our library to allow students to scan books. So we'll have these high-speed scanners and textbooks available at the library that are open resources that they can use as well. And then with our Promise program, many years we've had enough funding to provide some assistance on for book like a book voucher. So with our bookstore, we partner. We give them like a $250, $300 credit to help offset some of the cost for books, because we know that books can cost more than the class sometimes. I'm seeing a question in the chat. So early grads, do they have to do anything special? No, they don't. Yeah, so we open the Promise in fall and spring. So whenever you've graduated, you can qualify for that. So that's why we think of it as kind of like the 4 consecutive semesters as well. Okay, good question. And then you're just wanted to point out, we get a lot of questions about if if you've taken college classes in high school. It's a little confusing for high school students, or if they take summer classes, like are they first time? So, for us, first time is the summer after the fall after graduating high school, or in the case of the question, the spring of 2022. So the summer before you start doesn't count. Get a lot of questions about that. I believe Point Loma partners with a lot of other community colleges in the area, but I wanted to share some of the programs that we partner with. So the way Point Loma has partnered with us is we asked Point Loma to make the college costs similar to what it would cost, without all the finances at a Cal State. So what they do is partner with us, and they offer their classes on our campus. So they do it in a hybrid model. So you do, in the ideal scenario, 2 years with us, you get all your 60 units, your credits. You apply to Point Loma through these programs that we offer with them. You get in and you get your bachelor's degree through Point Loma. And again, the great thing is you take the classes on our campuses. So part of it online and part of it meets on our campus. And so we have business administration, computer information technology, nursing, and child development. We also have an MBA program that was starting up, so Master's in Business, that was being offered at our San Elijo campus. So Point Loma manages those programs in partnership with us, but all the information is on their website. So if you looked up, Point Loma and MiraCosta online, you would find more information about that. But great opportunity for students to, save a ton of money by doing it this way with the community college partnership. I wanted to mention at our San Elijo campus, I'm going to talk about, right now I'm talking about some of our academic programs, but I'll talk about support programs for our students that are unique. At our San Elijo campus, we have a program called First Four. And so someone graduating, and this is offered in the fall, someone graduating from high school, we would set up an ideal schedule for them. So it's 4 days of class and 4 classes for that first semester. And the nice thing about it is you get guaranteed seats. So we've designed kind of different tracks for students to select. And so if they're thinking like, I'm unsure, but I'm leaning towards business, so we'll have, that first year English class, math class that would be appropriate for transfer. The math is really key if, knowing which way you want to go when you come in. So, we would set them up on the right path for that. And then, a business class or some general ed classes. And so it's just a way to make it easier for students. And when I say ideal schedule, it's like a Monday through Thursday schedule, and it's like 9 to 2, right? So they're out of their college courses, early in the day, and it's an easy transition for them. So that's a program we've just designed at San Elijo. And then we have several other programs at our other campuses that students can participate in. I know Tanya mentioned you're interested in some of our unique career education programs. We have a ton of them. I have other slides I can get into if there's more questions about that. I did want to leave some time for questions. So some of our newest are in cybersecurity. That one's really popular. As you know, with career education, there's a ton of job opportunities in the San Diego region. And so cybersecurity is definitely one that there's a great need for. So, right, you can get into these high paying fields without having to take a whole 4-year route if that's the way you want to go. Of course, you can take 4-year and beyond if you'd like. And then another popular one right now is our sustainable agriculture program. We're doing a bunch of projects with community members up here in North County, and the students are really into just finding ways to take care of our community through that program. We have a horticulture program. So I believe we have 9 acres of land on the Oceanside campus that we work with right now. So good opportunities in that field. The one that's really unique to us, and this just got approved by the legislature a few years ago, California put out a call to pilot bachelor's degrees at the community college. So MiraCosta looked at the need in our region, and there's, I think hundreds of employers in biotechnology in our region. So up in Oceanside, we have Genentech, which makes like Tamiflu, the flu drug, and it does a bunch of other things. So there was a connection already there with industry, and we had already been training students to go into those fields. So it was natural for us. One of the things the state wanted was for us to not offer something that was already offered in our region by like a Cal State or UC. So this is a unique program. We've graduated, I believe, two or three cohorts in the program, and now the legislature just passed that we can make it permanent because it was a pilot program at the beginning. So really excited about this program. We've been able to develop it. There's a lot of high-paying, opportunities. I had a student ambassador that was working with me. So we have a variety of students, but she was in her late 30s, coming back to college, had 2 kids, and wasn't sure what she wanted to do career-wise. Met with her EOPS counselor and had basically just been, raising her kids. And the counselor asked her, well, what do you like to do? Like, what are you good at? And she was like, well, I like to cook and clean. That's what I've been doing. And the counselor was like, well, maybe you want to try biotechnology just because, it has to be this very like immaculate environment, and you've got to do all these measurements and things like that. So anyways, this student now was working with me part-time and said, hey, like, I'm going to have to quit. I have a full-time job offer for quality control at a local biomanufacturing, and just thrilled and elated, loves the job that she has, still finishing. She was in her 3rd year at the time of the biomanufacturing program, so almost done with that, but already had her AA in biotechnology from us. So, this is just growing cells in tanks, stainless steel tanks, and a lot of times she's like, I got to go feed my cells, I got to leave, but little things like that. So love to tell you more about that program. We have a lot of high schools that want to tour it, so that's something that we can arrange for y'all as well. And then the cost for a 4-year program at a community college is $10,000 before financial aid. So you really can't beat that, right? Can't find a program like that anywhere, I think, for that cost. And then I mentioned earlier that we have the campus in Carlsbad, and so that's the Technology Career Institute. I wanted to show a quick video, but I like to show this campus and feature just like what career education programs could be like, or what a job workforce training program, job development program could be like. So some of the unique programs over there are biomedical equipment repair. So we teach students how to repair that. And again, I believe that one's 16 weeks. You do need to do some science, right? So you need to do some like basic chemistry type stuff. There is a lecture, but most of it is hands-on, learning how to repair the equipment, things like that. We also offer ROV drone operations. Craft brewing is big in San Diego, so we also offer some brew tech classes as well. And I'll show a quick video if it wants to cooperate with me here today about that campus and just what some of the things are happening there.
Technology Career Institute is this amazing facility that's located in Carlsbad. It's really MiraCosta College's best offerings for short-term accelerated training to put people into high-skill, high-wage, high-demand jobs that are exciting and provide lots of opportunity for folks. The engineering tech program involves automation and robotics and electronics and mechanical aspects. The machinist program is really designed for people that want to build and assemble things that are involved in manufacturing of all sorts.
I already have a job lined up, and it's so exciting because my employer is just more excited for me to come back to work and to put everything that I've learned into the projects that we have coming up.
If someone comes to TCI, they're getting trained on the latest equipment, the latest techniques, the latest processes. That allows the prospective employer to feel confident that they're not going to have to spend a lot of time training them. San Diego area is populated with a variety of companies. They're going in double digits. Those thousands of companies need those technicians to come in and assist. So I think it's a very bright opportunity for the students that graduate from TCI.
Try to get back into my presentation, but let's see, I usually have to start from the beginning, so I'll just flip through these again. Sorry about that. But yeah, just so you wanted you to get a chance to see our Technology Career Institute, and you can always find more about that online as well. So there's a couple other videos out there. Wanted to show you a quick portion of the video so you can see, but yeah, some really amazing programs. We also have the machinist technology, so a lot of CNC cutting little pieces of metal that go into aerospace or automotive or different industries. So lots of cool stuff happening there, and that's one of our newest campuses as well. As far as support programs, I know I have just a few minutes, so want to touch quickly on some of our unique programs for first year students. So we have the EOPS program, extended opportunity programs and services for our first generation, or our students that maybe don't have the finances. Great support program. But as you know, what these programs provide is typically a dedicated counselor and typically dedicated coursework. So for EOPS, courses aren't required. For our first year forward program, it's for any first year student. We do have a counseling team, and then there is a counseling intro to college success class that's associated with that. It is optional, that class. And the ones below, they are cohort models. So the students take classes together. So up in the North County area, we do have a large Pacific Islander population. So we created our MANA program. The programs are open to any student that identifies, so anybody, regardless of race or ethnicity, could be in the programs. But MANA is our program for Pacific Islander students, designed for them. And then Puente is a well-known program statewide for Latinx students. RAFI is a program that we offer for former foster youth. So they do get a lot of support, counseling, and just really financial support as well. Umoja is a program for Black African-American students. Uprise stands for Undocumented People Rise in Solidarity and Empowerment. That is a program for undocumented students, DACA students, mixed status, meaning a family member is undocumented, but the student may not themselves be. And then for anyone that wants to be an ally and just learn more about those populations. And Transitions is our newest program. It is for justice impacted, system impacted students. So, and again, if they're family members. And then, this is just kind of the structure of, give you an idea of the structure of support. But yeah, it's our newest one. And they're taking, Intro to College Success and Sociology together as a cohort. And so there's all this kind of embedded, wraparound support, if you want to call it that, for the students. So we're excited about these programs, and our programs are known like statewide, especially like our Moja program. We call them ACE programs, Academic Success and Equity programs. And there's also a website for those two, which I can share. Wanted to touch a little bit on our honors program. So in North County, we're the only one that offers the honors program. And so we've done it, the structure of that program, it's open to everybody. So it's really about building community. So there's no minimum GPA required. You do have to put in a brief application. So a little bit smaller class sizes in those, and a lot of research opportunities. So they prepare the students, they partner them with a faculty member, and they'll do research projects and they'll present them at conferences throughout the state. So they'll travel. So it looks really good when you're going to apply to transfer, or maybe you want to go to a grad program. And so again, they do a lot of fun community related events, but there are designated honors classes. Anybody can sign up for an honors class. If you take 5, you can get certified for the UCLA TAP. We also have the Irvine also does a TAP program. And so, in recent years we've had, and it's not a large number of students applying, but it does increase your chances of getting into UCLA. So we have a higher acceptance rate than the regular group of students that would be applying to UCLA through that TAP program. And basically what TAP does is let you identify a second major and you get considered. If you don't get admitted to your first choice major, you get admitted to your second choice major is typically what ends up happening. Then real quick, just show a little bit of what we offer in terms of sports. The unique ones for us would be rugby. We have men and women's. It's a club sport, and surf. And then we have a few other sports that we offer. That ran through those pretty quickly just so we could have time for questions. But if you want to get a hold of us, here's my contact information. We're also, on social media, and we have a chat feature too.
Wonderful. I am not seeing any other questions in the chat. I know that you have answered a lot of them during your presentation, but if anybody has any questions, please go ahead and put them in the chat so that we can answer those. But in the meantime, do you want to share the raffle prize that we have? And then we're going to pick 2 lucky winners.
Sure. And I did want to address a question. So we have like a little virtual tour online. I think Tanya's going to post some of these presentations too online. So what we're going to put together for you, and I didn't bring all my materials, but we have MiraCosta, stainless steel water bottle. It's a nice one. And then we have a couple of other like swag items that we'll share with you. So I know I have a fanny pack. We'll just put together like a goodie bag for you. But yeah, we have these really cool fanny packs. I'm trying to think of any other cool swag items that we have lately. But yeah, got lanyards, pens, highlighters. We'll put together some nice stuff for you.
Great. And I'm not sure how counselors are going to promote the craft beer technician program to their students. However, that is a very cool program, I must say. All right. So 2 lucky winners. And if you hear your name, if you could just acknowledge that you're here by just in the chat, throwing in your email address, that would be great. And then I will reach out to you to get the mailing address as to where you want the packet sent. All right, so drum roll, please. We have Allison Fleck. Allison, congratulations, as well as Holly Austin. So if you could please let us know that you're here. Otherwise, we'll pick someone else. So please in the chat, if you could throw in your email address. Oh, there's Holly. Great. Holly. Got it. And Allison, perfect. Okay, so I will make sure to get that information over to Jonathan. And so thank you everyone for being here today. And thank you, Jonathan, for a great presentation. And again, we will have everything posted by Monday onto the school counseling webpage. We already have all of the other webinars from earlier this week up on the website. So feel free to browse through those if you get a chance. All right, everyone, have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much.
Everyone, happy Friday.